Thanks so much.
Shifting gears now to a big legal fight that is brewing in the Big Apple. A group of landlords are now suing New York City over Mayor Zohran Mamdani's rent freeze plan. It impacts 1- and 2-year leases for roughly 1 million rent stabilized apartments. A really big impact. Well, the property owners call this freeze an unlawful abuse of power, and they are claiming the mayor puts tenant activists on the board to make the decision, and then they say it was done just to give Mamdani a political victory. For more on this now, we bring in Republican Congressman Mike Lawler from New York. Sir, thanks for joining us. Predictably, a lawsuit here, landlords pushing back. Your thoughts on whether or not they will succeed in the courts?
Well, they certainly have a valid case, and when you look at the challenges in New York City, you have tens of thousands of vacant units, in large measure because of New York's draconian rent control laws. These laws apply to units built before 1974. And the problem here is that they put these, freezes in place, yet they require the landlord to upgrade the apartment to code. They require the landlord, of course, to pay increased taxes, of course, to pay increased utility bills. New York State having one of the worst energy policies in the country. Utilities are up 58% over the last year. So their expenses keep going up, yet they're saying they can't raise rent. The bigger issue is that nationwide, we are 8 million units of housing underbuilt. That's why I was proud to lead the effort in the House, along with Chairman French Hill and Mike Flood, to get a bipartisan housing package that actually would increase supply, increase access to capital for builders, for home buyers, for tenants, and actually bring down cost. This is basic supply and demand, something Mamdani clearly doesn't understand. And what he's actually going to do is create more vacant units as a result of this rent freeze, because the landlords will take the tax write-off rather than put out the expenditures upwards of $50,000, and they won't be able to recoup it. So they'll end up taking the tax write-off, and that's why this lawsuit is actually very critical, because this is a clear violation of the Constitution when it comes to property rights, and I think it's something that has to be addressed. There's been cases before the Supreme Court. I think they've missed the opportunity to actually address this. You have tenants who choose not to pay their rent because there's no consequence. That's why I introduced legislation on squatting. This kind of craziness needs to stop. Bottom line is we need more supply.
Yeah, and we'll see if this all ends up before the Supreme Court yet again to see if we get to an ultimate